This video might be one of the most ambitious crossovers in gaming video history. As many of you know, this is a gaming channel. However, we're going to combine two very different genres. We are going to combine gaming with basketball. Now, just around the corner, we have what is called the Fantasy Basketball Draft. Now, if you don't know what a fantasy sports team is, essentially what you do is you take real-life players and you draft them onto your team. Now, your team is made up of all these different players in hopes that your team every single week will be getting the most points, the most rebounds, the most assists. So what you want to do is draft the best NBA players. However, this is where our crossover begins. We're not going to be drafting NBA players. No, in this video, we are making our fantasy basketball team, but we're only using people, or should I say characters, from Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So yeah, I've honestly never seen anything like this, but we're gonna give it a shot and see how it goes. Now, we're only gonna draft 5 players, even though a fantasy team has more than that, but we're gonna fill the 5 main positions on a basketball team. But because you're watching the longer video, we're going to have some bonus rolls towards the end of this. And I will say they go downhill really fast. So for the first position we're going to cover, we have the center. Now, this is the big man of your team. This is your absolute tallest, strongest, biggest player that you have on the court. Now, that being said, Smash Bros has a lot of really big and tall characters. However, one stands far above the others, quite literally. And that is going to be our first pick for the entire draft, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is literally the perfect pick for your center. He is both very tall at 7'10", and I imagine his wingspan is even crazier than that, because if you look at him, his arms are longer than he is tall. So his wingspan is probably like, I'm guessing, but probably like 9 feet, which I'm pretty sure sets a record in both height and wingspan for a player, so that's definitely going for you. Now, as you see, he's also like built like a tank. He's not like Wemby, who's 7 foot something and just like a twig. Donkey Kong is just ripped, so he is a perfect pick. He also weighs, by the way, according to the wiki, he weighs 800 pounds. So I'm pretty sure that also makes him the heaviest player in history. But you know, that's all muscle, so that's good things. Oh, and I also want to cover that he's only 26 years old. Don't ask me how. I know it came out more than 40 years ago, but he's only 26 years old, so the dude is still in his prime. So all in all, Donkey Kong is absolutely a perfect pick for center, as not only is he going to shatter the blocking record, when that guy gets a rebound, I mean, his hand would completely envelop the basketball. There's no way anyone could rip that from him. Now, in all honesty, this is probably the best pick that I have. It kind of just, you know, but still, I feel like Donkey Kong is the perfect center for our fantasy basketball team. Now, for the next role we're going to fill, we have power forward. Now, this position is not quite center, but they are still big and tall. However, they have a little bit more tenacity. This player is going to get you more points. He's going to be more consistent down low when it comes to scoring. In other words, you could say your power forward is a more skilled center. Now, I use the word skilled very intentionally because for our power forward position, we have drafted none other than Ike. Specifically, Ike from Radiant Dawn, not little Ike from Path of Radiance. Now, straight away, I want to address the concerns. He would be one of the shortest power forwards ever. He's only 6'4". I kind of thought he was taller than that, but that's okay because he's got muscle, and I feel like if you've played Fire Emblem, you know this. He has a ridiculous amount of skill, so I think he would definitely bring to the court some really solid scoring potential. Also, when I looked up things power forwards should be able to do, it said they should be able to match up to guys way bigger than them. And who happens to be Ike's primary antagonist? That would be none other than the Black Knight, who is listed at 6'8". So Ike is already used to having to play defense and to attack these guys that are way bigger than him. So once again, all in all, while he might not be the best pick, I personally would draft Ike for my position as power forward. Now for our next position we're going to be drafting for, we have our small forward. Now, what is a small forward? You can kind of consider this the do-it-all kind of guy. You have your point guards and shooting guards on this side, they're fast, they're nimble, and on this side you got your power forwards and your centers, your bigger, stronger guys, while your small forward is right in the middle. To describe this role in a word, I would use athleticism. Now, I use that word very intentionally because we are going to draft for this role none other than Captain Falcon.
Show me your moves.
Now, I know I said Donkey Kong was originally our best draft pick, but I might take that back and actually say Captain Falcon is, as he just has everything. He is incredibly fast and nimble. He has ridiculous strength. I mean, he is just a peak athlete. Now, the biggest concern with him is he's only 6'3", 209 pounds, which definitely puts him on the shorter end. But if we check a different wiki, we actually see that he's 6'8", 310 pounds. So we're definitely gonna go with the latter. So not only do we have this giant of a man, he is just so incredibly fast and athletic. I mean, he would dominate in his role as small forward. Now, another concern might be the fact that he's kind of old. He's apparently 36. However, LeBron James, who is even older than that, is still able to play just as good. So I don't see this as a problem at all. And in case you still have any doubt in your mind, check out this clip. The dude literally shakes with athleticism. Now for our next draft pick, we have our point guard. And this is the brains of your team. This is the person who has control of the ball, picking where it goes, running the plays. This is the guy who you might say needs really good vision. And that is why for this pick, we are going to go with Shulk. Now you might say, what is Shulk? The dude's tiny, he's only 5'5" and doesn't look like he has much muscle on him. But the fact that he can literally see the future seems like a pretty good characteristic for a point guard. I mean, he can be running a play and literally know exactly where the defense is going to go. I don't see how that wouldn't make you a good point guard. And not just on offense, on defense, he'd also be like incredible. He gets so many steals because he knows exactly where you're going to go. So like, that's another huge bonus for Shulk as point guard. And while I've never played the Xenoblade games, I know he has like a lot of friends and allies, so he might even be a really good team player as a whole because he's already used to it. So there's that too. Now for our last and final draft pick for our starting five, we have to pick our shooting guard. Now, if you look at some of the most famous shooting guards of all times, you don't just see some good NBA players, you see the best. And that's why some might consider this a bit of a cheap pick, but we're going to go with the GOAT of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate himself, Steve. While he doesn't really seem like he has the most basketball experience, the dude is just an all-round incredible athlete. He is 6'2", which isn't huge, but as you've probably seen in some of the shorts I've made, he is incredibly strong, so he's definitely got that on his side. And for anyone who's played against him in Smash, you know he can do just about anything and everything. So he would just dominate on the court just like he dominates on the Smash course. And I know you might think this is our cheap, kind of low pick, but if you have the #1 draft pick available, you're gonna take it even if you don't like the guy. Which, now that I say that, I can actually think of a lot of actual players like that. So that concludes the 5 positions on our team, but as I said, this is the longer video, so you're gonna get some benefits because we're not done. We still have to descend more into chaos. So we are going to cover our next position, which is our coach. I mean, you gotta have a coach if you have a basketball team. Now, there are 2 kinds of coaches out there. There's the, oh, we get to participate, everyone gets a trophy, oh, it's just for fun. And then there's those who win. There are those who say, we'll do whatever it takes to get that W, which is why we are picking for our coach, Ganondorf. Now, Yes, he's a supervillain, but that's irrelevant. I feel like he'd make a good coach because he would do whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Yeah. And so, I honestly believe he'd make a great coach. I just feel like he'd be stern. Now, don't look at his track record. He doesn't have a lot of wins, but he's shown a lot of good team spirit. Like, he always has armies that he works with, I think. I haven't played a whole lot of Legend of Zelda, but you know, he seems like he knows how to organize things to get plans executed. This is all qualities you want in a coach. So yeah, say what you want. You might say he's a villain, but I say he's my coach, so we're going with him. But we're still not done drafting people, as we have another position to fill. Our water boy. Yes, every team needs a water boy, and this one is probably the easiest one to draft for. We are picking none other than Squirtle. Just don't ask where the water comes from. So you might think we're done, but we are not. We have another position to draft for, and that is our referees. Now we need 2 referees, so we've got 2 picks here. One is serious, one is... You'll have to let me explain. So for our first pick, we're gonna take Mewtwo. I don't know, but whenever I see Mewtwo, I just think like non-biased. Like he's on his own team. He is separate. He's not gonna be favoring one team, not favoring the other. He just sits there, stands there stoically, reffing the game, and probably judging you as he looks really judgmental. But he's also the kind of guy who can, you know, stand up for himself. He's not gonna get bullied into making a call, so he would be a very solid ref. Now for our second one, you know, we have Olimar. Now, please just listen to me on this. Is he small? Is he kind of scared of everything? Would he get bullied into making calls? I mean, you can't even see his eyes, so I don't know what his vision is like. However, he has a whistle, okay? That makes him qualified. I mean, the dude's already got the equipment for it, so I don't see how we wouldn't pick Olimar in this situation. But we are still not done drafting here, because we have to have fans to cheer us on. We have 2 picks for that one, and our first pick is going to be Sora. Now, this one seems pretty self-explanatory. The dude is always smiling, he's always cheering you on. This is the kind of guy you want in the stands, okay? You do something good, he cheers you on. You do something bad, he's not gonna lie to you, but he's still gonna motivate you to push yourselves beyond those boundaries to be the best player possible. So Sora's the kind of guy that I want in the stands cheering me on. And for our second fan, you knew he was gonna be in the video eventually. It's just, if it's Smash Bros, he will be there, and that is none other than Kirby. Kirby is arguably the most happy thing in existence, always cheering you on. I mean, the dude can fight the most horrifying, dangerous, world-ending monsters, all while having a smile on his face. So we're definitely gonna want Kirby in the stands. And you know what? Kirby kind of reminds me of like your grandma when she cheers you on. Like he has no idea what's going on, but he's gonna cheer for you. You do something good, yeah! You do something bad, yeah! Not because he wants to make you feel better, but he legitimately doesn't know what's going on and thinks that he should cheer anyways. And so, you know, Kirby's the kind of guy you want in the stands cheering you on as well. I mean, with him and Sora, your team is never going to get down. Also, that being said, Kirby could also be like the basketball. I just thought of that now. Like, okay, second position. For our last draft pick, we have the basketball. And for that, we're picking Kirby. Is there an orange one? I don't think so. I think this is yellow. That's close enough. So we have drafted our basketball. You know what? We also have Jigglypuff. We have a basketball now in our draft pick. That's never happened, I can tell you that. Although if there was, I would pick Wilson Evolution balls, but that's... Wow, we're off subject here. I don't know. We should probably just end this before it gets too out of hand. We're about to start drafting bleachers or something, so yeah, let's just move on. Anyways, guys, thank you for making it through this video. If you have made it to the end, wow, good on you. I don't know whether you're a gaming fan or a basketball fan, but hey, Maybe you're both. I know there's a few of you out there. But thank you for watching this video. If you liked this type of video, let me know. I have another one kind of like this in the back of my mind, but if this is really dumb and stupid and you didn't like it, like, I will not be offended, so let me know. I enjoyed filming kind of a longer video again. It's been a long time since we've done one of these. But anyways, as I said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Also, who knows, maybe the next one we can do is like football. I think that's already started, so too late for that. But hey, maybe in the future.